Hello, Monster Forge here again, with another toy review. This time I'm reviewing the Dungeons & Dragons Honor Among Thieves. This is based on the most recent Dungeons & Dragons movie at the point of this recording. Dungeons & Dragons Honor Among Thieves Golden Archive Owlbear / Doric action figure from Hasbro. Owlbears are one of my favorite creatures. Hit the camera. Owlbears are one of my favorite creatures from Dungeons and Dragons. Just a big, beefy, beastly bird creature. I like owls. I like bears. Put the two together, you got something really cool. But anyway, this is a figure. It's a 1/12 scale. 1/12 scale means that a human being is like a 6-inch figure. And so, like, if you're familiar with Marvel Legends figures like Doctor Doom here, this Doctor Doom he's right under 7 inches, which Doctor Doom's a tall guy. But, you know, like, it's right around that scale figure. So Doctor Doom is actually a tall guy. This figure, is in scale with that, which, you know, when you look at the box, it's like, it's not that big a box, you know, like it's not that big, and you think something that's scaled with a human, because the owlbear is a really big critter, it's like, it's not that big. Well, you got to basically put the owlbear together. He comes with like the chest and everything. It's in 2 parts that fit together onto a frame. So when you put this thing together, you got a big critter. Now, here's the kicker. This figure, it says on the tag, I got this at Ollie's. Right now, it's currently at Ollie's. If you don't know what Ollie's is, if you don't have an Ollie's near you, I'm sorry. It's like a discount closeout store where they get stuff that, you know, whenever companies have too much of a thing they didn't sell, that goes there and they sell it at a discount. Ollie's has this figure, which at retail, it was supposed to be like $29.99. I'm not sure if that's the accurate price or not. I don't doubt it, because this thing is huge. But they have it for $9.99. And when you see the size and like the quality of this figure, that price is ridiculously low, because it's an amazing figure, and you'll see in a minute. And Dr. Doom can move out the way now. Just to take a look at the package, you know, you've got the product there shown. Pretty accurate picture of the toy you actually get, but nice packaging. I don't usually go for packaging much, but this is really nice. It has that sort of ornate D&D flair to it. The Golden Archive, I think that's like the toys in the line that's in this 1/12 scale. I know that the Dungeons & Dragons Honor Among Thieves, I don't know if you've seen the movie or not. It's a great movie. It's really a lot of fun. If you're a Dungeons & Dragons fan, it's got a lot of stuff, a lot of callbacks to Dungeons & Dragons lore and all. But it has what's really nice about this packaging is the triangle at the corner with the ampersand, with the dragon. Really cool. Honor Among Thieves. The nice digital painting of the owlbear. It looks like he's absolutely freaking out. And a little description here. It says, and this is not really spoiler material, because this is revealed in the trailer for the movie, but and this is the reason why it's an owlbear / Doric. A shape-shifting tiefling druid who makes her home with the elves in the forest. Doric fights to protect the natural world from those who would destroy it. Yeah, tieflings are like some kind of demon kin. They can shapeshift, and kind of take on the qualities of the thing they shapeshift into. And so in the movie, at one point, she turns into an owlbear. It's really cool. She's one of the coolest characters in the movie. So anyway, but it says on the package that it's 9 inches tall and 7.7 inches wide. And that doesn't convey like the actual size of this thing when you get it in your hand, and weight of the thing. Like I measured the weight of it, and it weighs over a pound. So it's not just this, like when I saw the package on the shelf, I was like, oh, well, it's probably hollow and all, and I pick it up and it's like the package weighs over a pound. So without further ado, we have, just to give you a little idea here, here's Dr. Doom. Mind you, again, he's like 6 inches, 6 and 3/4 inches tall, and this is the Owlbear. Just towers over him, and owlbears don't usually stand up straight like this. They're kind of hunched over, but just to give you an idea of the size of this guy. And when you see him standing really like on the same plane as Dr. Doom, you really get to see the size. But Dr. Doom to the side, we're here to look at the Owlbear. And the Owlbear is like really well articulated. He's got multiple joints, and just the size of him, the heft of him, he weighs over a pound. He's like really meaty and chunky, but on top of that, he's articulated out the wazoo. Let's take a look at the paint apps. The eyes on this thing are beautiful. It's painted, like the highlights and all are painted. It has this blue to purple shift in the color. The sculpt of the feathers on it, it's just great. It's if you're familiar with the Hasbro Power Rangers Aliens toys they've been making in the Lightning collection, it's similar in the feel and the sculpt. So it kind of makes me wonder if it's the same sculptors that are working on that. But let's go through the articulate. Well, okay, let's look at the details first. Like the painting of the feathers, they're great. It's I'm not sure if it's done by hand or if it's that digital print deal, like tampograph type stuff. But it has the feathers painted all over it. Not every feather is going to be painted, but a lot of them are. And the sculpt is good, so good that giving it like a wash or something with some browns or beige would really bring out a lot of the detail. There's like little fine feathers sculpted around the bones in the face and around the beak and all, and it's an amazing sculpt. Let's look at articulation. It has a ball joint with a pin, like a disc and pin. You can move the head all the way up this far, and then the disc goes, there's an arm inside there that goes up all the way, and it goes all the way down. So he can stand up. He won't be completely looking forward, but these guys don't usually stand up. They kind of crouch. So yeah, and he's fairly stable. Like he's got a little bit of a wobble to him because just the weight of the figure, on the joints, but he's very sturdy, and just a big chunker of a figure. I mean, he am a big boy. But anyway, that's the neck articulation, and of course his head turns, so you can get the whole owl thing going with the head turning it around. He has butterfly joints in the shoulders, so it can bring them in and bring them really out. The arm rotates, and what's crazy is it has a sort of PVC, like a soft PVC shoulder, like a shoulder pad, but it's the feathers on the shoulder, and it moves with the inner joint there. It has pin and disc rotation at the shoulder, making for like a universal joint. That gets a really good range. You can see here, like the span on this guy is just crazy. Like that's that figure that I had before that's almost 7 inches, and that's That's a good arm on this guy. You know, a little bit more than the arm there. But yeah, he's got the joints at the shoulder like that. He has at the bicep, he has, you know, a pin and disc at the elbow. He has a swivel at the elbow. The wrists are articulated to go in, like in and out like this, and they also swivel. He has an ab crunch with quite a bit of range on it. He can turn all the way around. And the joints, like at the shoulder and all, are clicky. They kind of click into place. It's not a ratchet by any means, but it's got like little detents in it. And so do, actually, feels like most of the joints, except for the neck doesn't. Yeah, the neck doesn't, but the arms, the shoulders and all, everything has got sort of a clicky, so it holds its position really well. The hips are not as clicky, but you can feel a little bit of click to them. They go out. It's a ball joint in there. The knees bend, and it goes way forward, so you can pose him. And he comes with 2 accessories or 2 alternate limbs that this comes in handy with here. But anyway, he has a pin and disc joint at the ankle, and he also has it has sort of like a foot swivel there, an ankle swivel there. So he's real articulated. Now, like I said, Owlbears usually, you know, they when they're actually on 2 legs, they kind of lean forward, but they're actually 4-legged creatures, and the wrists, like these are his graspy hands, you know, and he can really, like, you can have him hold the foot of a character or the leg of a character really easily. But when he's not doing his whole stand-up routine, he comes with an extra set of feet that are like for standing on his front paws or feet, or, you know, whatever you want to call it. And the feet are really, you know, like an owl's feet. And yep, they pop in like that. And this way you can pose him standing on all 4s. So that's where the head going forward has a nice look to it. But yeah, you can pose him on all 4s like this. So he really has that Owlbear feel to him. And just really cool. And if you want to be really ridiculous, you could have Dr. Doom ride him, which is awesome. I mean, if anybody's going to ride an Owlbear, it would be Dr. Doom. But yeah, that's the Owlbear. And just kind of giving you a sense of how he fits in with other lines, because, you know, he's not a Marvel Legends figure. He's his own thing. You know, he's with the Dungeons and Dragons line, but you can see, like I said before, here he is with a Marvel Legends figure. Here he is with a G.I. Joe classified figure, Snake Eyes here. And Black Series Stormtrooper. So yeah, you can see he's a big old boy. I mean, his arm is bigger around than any of these figures. So he's just massive. And, you know, a massive figure like this, getting it for $10 is just, you know, ridiculous. That price that's a steal. And the fact that it's such a good, high-quality figure, I mean, like, he is sturdy. There's nothing on him that feels like it's going to break or really even get loose. Fantastic figure. Even if you're not into Dungeons and Dragons, this is just a really cool figure for that price point. So, get to looking at Ollie's. If you don't have an Ollie's, find somebody who does and beg them to go buy you an Owlbear. because it's quite an investment. I mean, even if you if you got somebody to pick one up for you and you have to have it shipped to you, it's worth it, because you're coming out even less than buying this thing when it was at retail. So that is the Dungeons and Dragons Honor Among Thieves Golden Archive Collection Owlbear from Hasbro at Ollie's right now for $10. And you guys are cool. Monster Forge out.